People often ask what the difference is between a no-fault divorce and a divorce which is filed based on fault grounds. Now, in New Jersey, a few years back, we didn't have a no-fault statute. In other words, you had to file a complaint that was based on some kind of misconduct or wrongdoing. That's when you're filing based on fault grounds. So, for instance, you could claim that your spouse was an adulterer, your spouse was an alcoholic, any of the numerous bad things that you had to cite. But in its wisdom, the court and the legislature, not the court so much, but the legislature, decided that we should be what's called a no-fault state, which means that if you perceive that your marriage is over, if it is unreasonable to require two people to remain married, they don't have to come to court with fault grounds. They don't have to point the finger at the other person and say you're a bad person. All you have to do now is say that we've had irreconcilable differences for at least 6 months prior to the filing of our complaint, and that we can't get over them. So it would be unreasonable for us to have to remain married. So now you are filing based on what is called no fault. So you don't have to allege bad things about the other person. And keep in mind, when you receive a complaint for divorce, if it says in there that you're one of the worst husbands ever, if you say, oh, my wife's a terrible lover or my husband is a terrible father, and you put that in your complaint, it has the effect of throwing gasoline on a fire. People just get angry. Now what happens is people get a complaint for divorce and they say, well, at least they didn't trash me in the complaint. At least they didn't create a court record that people are going to look at and think less of me. So it actually helps people to resolve their differences. Now, one thing that I am always asked is, doesn't it matter anymore? Doesn't it matter if the other person was a bad person? Doesn't it matter if they cheated on me? Doesn't it matter? And the answer is, you know what? If you're looking for a state where fault matters, you're in the wrong place. Because in New Jersey, you're not going to allege these kind of things because it's just harder to prove your complaint. You don't want to have to go out and hire investigators to chase your spouse down and take photos at a motel. You file based on no fault. You say I have irreconcilable differences. It's less expensive, it's more effective, and everybody does it. If you file on fault grounds, it means that you've got a client who is looking for revenge, and it's not a productive way to proceed.